Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to a segment of heart activation called Astro-Tarot. In this, I dive through the astrology of what's going on and helping you to understand astrology more, helping you to understand how astrology is affecting us at an individual level and at a collective level. I use tarot and oracle cards along with the archetypes and symbols to be able to present to you how we can connect the outside world to our inner world. As we dive deep into this, you learn how to use these symbols, colors, and numbers as the way that the universe, spirit, God, whomever you'd like to call it, an amazing force outside of us is able to guide us to the internal self. So each of these videos goes through a teaching of the astrology that is going on, and also teachings through the archetypes of the tarot and oracle cards, along with chakras, numbers, colors. It's really a very beautiful thing. So I hope that you enjoy this process and that you are able to look internally and be able to take what you need and leave the rest, as each of these are general readings for the collective. They will not resonate with everyone. And this is really, you can listen to them at any time and really just gain a lot of learning about all of the archetypes through astrology, through the tarot and oracle cards. So if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for tuning in. I would appreciate and totally love it if you hit the subscribe button, and if you would feel guided to also interact, like, share, comment. Any interactions with my channel helps for the channel to get to where it needs to go on the algorithm. So again, thank you so much for being. Oh, hey, wonderful wands. Let's get into it. So today's astrology, we are getting into, there's some big, gosh, I might be saying this a lot. There are some really big energies that are coming forward here. So Venus goes retrograde in Leo, July 22nd. I believe I'm recording this on the 21st. And again, even if you come across this at a later date, there's some mate. This goes on for this retrograde, Venus retrograde at 40 days and 40 nights. That has a whole familiar ringtone to it, doesn't it? Um, so that's really interesting because now what's coming through is like, didn't like in the Bible or something, I heard these stories and I've read about them over and over, and like Jesus goes into like the forest or wherever to go be by himself for 40 days and 40 nights. And it's really interesting because retrogrades are really about that. It is a time to reevaluate where you're going. The planets look like, oh, they are going backwards, but really they're just like at a standstill. They slow down. And that's really what retrograde ask of us to do, to go inward, to be able to reevaluate, what you have been doing in the area of the retrograde. So in this area, Venus is when people hear about Venus, they think it's like sex. It's not. Venus really is so much about the creation energy. Um, Sex can be a part of that. However, it is sex is more of a Scorpio type of energy, to be honest, because, well, we'll get into that later. Venus is not really about that. It's like about love. And love, it can be a one on one basis or it can be a universal language. So, Venus has to do with creation, creativity, money, finances, how you work with your finances, the aesthetics in life, how you view things, like how you present yourself to the world. Venus is ruled, um, Venus rules the sign of Libra, which just went into our south node, which means past lessons we are tying up, lessons that we are completing. And this also Venus rules Taurus. Um, Taurus. Wow, I'm just blown away by the astrology that is happening. So Taurus is actually what was just in our north node. So we are now okay. So much is coming through right now. Let me recap this. Venus is going retrograde on July 22nd. This is a time to look inward. Venus rules the planet of Libra. I'm sorry. Venus rules Libra and Taurus. Taurus was our north node, which, okay, how can I explain this at a simple level? So Taurus is no longer our north node. Now Aries is our north node. So the fact that Taurus just moved out of our north node and Libra just moved into our south node has a very powerful Venus theme of wow, of relationship like leaving. And that can be any type of relationships because Taurus is also about um anything in the 3D world that feels comfort and sensuality. And it's very like a grounding and loving energy. Yeah, I mean, when I think of Taurus, I honestly, I feel of like my soft, like cozy comfort. Comfort is really what Taurus likes. So anything that is comfortable, anything that, it isn't serving for you to get out of your comfort zone is leaving. Codependency, um, any relationships that keep you in the same place, those are all working its way out. So, um, and the other fascinating theme that is going on here is Chiron retrograde the same day. I am actually not, let me see. Hold on. I'm going to pause it for a second. Well, anyways, I looked up in my astrology book. I am not familiar. Now I have to look. Dang. Okay. Yay. I got it. um, so Chiron will be retrograde for 6 months. Sometimes it can be depending on, I mean, this Chiron is not, Chiron does not have a set motion as to like how long, but typically it's anywhere from 4 to 6 months is what I just learned. So, Chiron is in Aries right now. Aries is again what our North Node went into. So, North Node is all about the lessons that we are going towards in this lifetime. It is our new storyline for the next 18 months. And Aries is all about being independent and like learning about self in order to help others, learning self first in order to be there for others. So, this is such a strong energy for independence, for self learning, self awareness. Um, I mean, it is so strongly rooted in learning deeply about yourself. Chiron is, if you've heard of the wounded healer. So what that means is like most of the people who would resonate with the term healer, they have gone through a significant amount of hurts themselves. The amount of light that one is able to harness is directly proportionate to the amount of darkness or pain that one has experienced in this life. So, and so what Chiron teaches us is that these are things that like these are deep hurts within us that we have possibly projected onto other people. And they are lessons that we need to learn in order to be there for the collective, in order for us to feel strong, strength, and standing in our empowered being, these are things that need to come forward in order for us to really work from a place of service, like for humanity versus service to self. So, although, I mean, this is a really paradoxical time because Aries and Leo, Leo loves to be the center of attention. And so this is where a lot of the, like, it's kind of like an ants in your pants type of feeling, because you may be seeking to feel validated, seeking to feel that you are worthy. Leos are very passionate, so it's like a seeking to um how do I say this? It's almost like getting others to be on the bandwagon with you in a type of way. So like, however, Leo often operates at a like wanting to be of service, wanting to be there for others, wanting to be there in a big way and to be present, to be in the forward center, because there's an inferiority complex. Anybody that has like overcompensating in that area where they're like big and boisterous and like does not take time to themselves and just like really puts themselves out there in the most extravagant way, typically has a really deep sense of self-worth. So, okay, now, then also the sun is moving into Leo, so Leo season begins. What? And we have the 8/8 portal coming up. I mean, there's no slowing down anytime soon. And when, this, it's so fascinating because there's such a strong paradox that comes through with this. So this is like, again, there is such a fast energy, but this will be, it, it's not an energy to be, it's like a fearless, independent warrior. But in order to be fearless about being independent, we must learn interdependence. We must learn how we actually work in order to be moving forward. This is an interesting card. Okay, so I just pulled a card. This is a very intuitive card. There's no words or anything. There's no booklet that shares what this is about. So this is so exactly what I feel I've been talking about. There's the alchemy that comes through with Leo energy because Leo is fire. So it's like okay, that's it. It gets so hot. And that's what I was feeling. It's like there's so much that comes up that it's gonna burn away. Because Leo runs like hot at both sides of the candle. Is how the term is, it doesn't matter. It, that you will this will quickly burn yourself out. And now this is interesting because this is such a dull, like hiding behind these fish. And um fish is a water sign, Pisces, like, which Saturn is in Pisces right now. Saturn is a restrictive energy. Pisces is about emotions and intuition and psychic abilities and being a part of the universal consciousness. So this is really like what this says to me is pulling back. I don't want to say hiding. It is absolutely pulling back and being introverted in order to be there for the consciousness, for the universal consciousness, for which is also Christ consciousness, by the way. This is the heart of this all. Like the Leo, right, is the heart. It is, um well, it's actually the sun. People call it the heart. It's more of the ego heart. So this is asking us to step back into the depths of our being and into the depths of our emotions, which I believe was coming through on there, to allow our emotions to come forward, to allow for all of the things that we have been hiding behind, allow for those things to be front and center, allow for the fire to bring in alchemy, use the emotions that comes up as a way to alchemize. Use those emotions to create. When we create from a space of like where we are channeling our sadness into painting, or we're channeling it into writing, when we are channeling our anger is a very sacred tool that we can use for dancing and moving our body and getting in tune with what it is within our body that we actually need. Now, that when we use these emotions to like move through body and move through the resistance that happened at once, this is a grand creation. This is what spirit is about, and how we learn more about ourselves in order to be more present and fulfilled within our individual relationships. We are able to show up in a more grand way without feeling resentful, without feeling depleted, or what is it, compassion fatigue. That's it. What because if you're working, like, even if you're working online, which I do most of my work online, and creating courses and whatnot, and writing and working with people through online, it is still, you still get worn out. You need to be able to fall back and learn what you need before you are able to learn what other people, how to be there for other people. It is just how it goes. So that's really amazing. Intuitive card. Let's pull out here. Let's see what are some other themes that are happening for. Look at all these cards. Okay. So we have personal peace. Oh, then we have pleasure. Wow, which is exactly what I was. Altruism and autonomy. That is crazy. Not crazy. It is it's wild. Gosh, I fear never ceases to amaze me. Wow. Okay. How fun is this? So what I was like, because it's double P. P, P, A, A. Okay. That's just fun to me. So we have personal peace, pleasure, altruism, and autonomy. I mean, come on. This is literally what I just said, right? Like, oh, I get so excited. Our personal peace. This is what matters most. This is what matters most. We tend to follow how other people react in situations. So when we are constantly bombarded with media, social media, people on social media, what other people's opinions are, you know, this is where I would get really like wrapped up in where there are really horrific type of things that happen in the world. There always have been. There Yeah. I am not demeaning any or invalidating experiences that are happening currently, because this is a very unique time. However, we get so amped up with like wanting to bring peace to the world that we think that fighting is a way to bring peace. Now, when has that ever worked? It's never worked. It's never worked. And so this is why we are being asked to fall back. because it's like, wait, are we actually doing what we feel is for, first of all, our highest good, our family's highest good, or our community's highest support? Is this really what feels good to us? Are we really working in a time? Is this really how we want to be presenting in the world? Is this really how we want to be putting our time? Is how we are putting ourselves forward feel good to us? Is this, am I enjoying myself in what I'm doing? You know, it's not about desire, pleasure. It's not about desires. It is finding the pleasure within everything, because there is such, there is, there is beauty within everything. And when we just buy into the beliefs of the people around us, like, oh my God, our world is going to hell and everybody sucks, everybody's mean and they're terrible humans and I hate humans, people suck, like those things that people really buy into is a defense mechanism. If we look at the bigger picture of things, and really that's what also retrogrades are about, is being like internal and looking at a higher perspective, a bigger perspective, taking an eagle eye view. Like, what is really happening? What is really happening? Because that is a really amazing perspective to have. It's a profound experience when we're able to connect the dots internally, locally around us, and at a global level. Because there is global change happening, not only at the macro level, but micro, so like the bigger scale and the little scale. Um, so we cannot, and this is where I feel like the rebellious part of me comes in, because even if the people who feel, the healers of society, or whomever, whatever label people resonate with, these two is not, they have not found this. They have not found the pleasure within being alone by having the personal peace. The personal peace is the foundation, which is everything stems from that. Everything stems from our own garden, from our roots. Altruism, to have selfless concern for and devotion to the well-being of others, to benefit others, even at my own expense. I don't like that. To be charitable and to intentionally and voluntarily take actions that aim to enhance the welfare of other beings in the absence of any quid pro quo external rewards. Exactly. This is like, you know, so altruism is the wounded healer. That is the archetype of, if you were to have the archetype of the wounded healer, altruism is that, like being there because it's, not only helping others, it's helping yourself. That it, however, we need to learn to have the autonomy, the strong sense of self, to be able to define myself in my own terms without relying on other people. You have unique feelings, you have unique thoughts, you have unique gifts. You are not the other person. Even in the realm of quote unquote weirdos, so like healers, spiritual, whatever the natural world, the mundane world would call the group of whoever resonates with me. Even among the gifted of the gifts. Yeah, you know what I mean. You have your own unique purpose. We are not meant, in this, I do often. I compare how I am out in the world of like the spiritual community to others, and I am absolutely not meant to be like others. I do have this rebellious, compassionate, it's rebellious because I'm so compassionate, radically loving, unique in the sense that I love being alone. And I would have never said that before. And so this is where I feel a lot of my mentoring is very helpful because I'm like, sit still, love the stillness. Even my energy is super hype because I'm so passionate about it. So the autonomy, like you can't, and I like to not go into all or nothing terms. Right. And it's always a scale of things. It's always a scale of like there is only so much truth that you have at each level. So while your truth is true for you at that level or layer, we'll use that. It may not be someone else's truth at that layer also. Every new layer reveals another new truth for you, for others, how you relate to others, how you relate to yourself. So the autonomy is really like, again, this is a whole vibe. It's a whole vibe. I fucking love it. Um, we need you for me. I needed to not be around people to understand what the hell my values were. Like to be able to question, like, why do I even have that thought? Like, where is this thought coming from? Why does this thought serve me? What are my true values? Is this something I even value? Like, I literally had to be away from people, and I still am in a state of inner reflection, inflection, because we can become persuaded so easily about what is ours, what isn't ours. And this really to dig inwards and to come up with what is truly yours, and make it up however you want to, because you can do that, is it requires you to be in solitude, and not like complete that not completely in totality. It is like going out into the world and playing around a little bit, playing around with other people, and then coming back, integrating. What did I learn? What did I feel? How did this feel to me? What did this person say that got me triggered? What is it that I felt while being out with these people? How can I be like more myself in times when I didn't feel like myself within that experience? It's like taking each experience that you have and bringing it back to self, questioning everything I mean, like it is a whole process, right? And it's a lot of details. And, I'm guided to be like, if you need mentoring and guidance along the way, like have, I have the tools for that. Um, I have workbooks, programs, questions, like that's what I do. I question everything. And that is something that I've had to really learn about myself and learn that to be a gift of mine because my whole life I have questioned everything. And I was told it is annoying and not helpful. And so, oh my God, I get emotional. And so I now am like, I fucking love questions. I love learning about people. And this is why I feel I'm a great tool in this area because I see the questions to ask that other people don't have. I help guide you to this place of getting to know yourself, getting to know the autonomous being within the collective, learning to find the pleasure within your personal peace, be able to be well, that was weird. To have the wounded healer be a part of that journey that you want to be in your journey. So That was, I mean, I'm using myself as an example because totally get it. Like, it, the things that we are being asked to learn about ourselves are the things that we don't want to learn about ourselves. Okay. So the things where, like, especially if it has rebelled against anything in society, like those are the things that have told us to be quiet, to sit still, to not be like annoying with questions, to be like, oh, you're so much, or oh, like, gosh, you're really intense, or your energy is just a lot to take in. Like, I'm sorry, fuck that. Those are the things that are amazing. And there's my personal statement. Fuck that. Those are your personal gifts. And that's my gift, is because I've learned to do that for myself. And I want you to learn to love those pieces of yourself. Pieces. Okay, let's get a card for guidance here. Like a whole soapbox thing. I'm not apologizing because I feel we need to hear that stuff. My beautiful love rebels. I've created a new word for us, and I freaking love it. So let's pull a card for guidance. That one was 100. We're not looking for 100. We only need one. So if you feel guided to check out my website, well, heartactivation.net, I have, okay, this one was the only one. Did I read this time? I don't know, maybe. On heartactivation.net. If you have listened this long, oh my gosh, I love you. I mean, thank you. So I love everyone, but especially thank you for listening all the way through. Oh, celebrate your uniqueness. You are exceptional as anyone. Let's read this. Roses have thorns. Please comment, subscribe, and share it if you have not. Any interaction on my channel helps for it to get around to whoever may need to hear this. Okay, where are you? Roses have thorns. Mm, Here we are. I will soothe you and heal you. I will bring you roses. I too have been covered with thorns. See, this is like the thing where I was saying, like, we're being guided to really love those things that we have perceived as the thorns. Expression. Picture yourself taking a stroll through a meadow while you are in the arms of your beloved. You're having the time of your life, enjoying the gifts of nature everywhere around you. Suddenly, the sky turns gloomy and strong. Winds begin to blow. Before you know it, the rain pours down on you. In such a condition, you can become upset that your fun has been ruined, or use your creative power to turn this incident into an exciting and unforgettable event. Reflection. This oracle comes to you like the scent of roses draw you into a stream of ecstasy with the sense of being anointed with the blessed Rumi. The great mystic is touching your soul, embracing and encouraging you to grow the joy you live to experience into consciousness. Every life is bound to face difficulty in the same way every rose has thorns. Spending time concentrating on what's right or wrong in this world does not lead to joy. No one says life is easy, but happy people tend to bounce through hard times with an attitude of clarity versus victimhood. You are invited to enjoy a healing shower of nectar from the light of love. Receive the good and the bad that comes your way with interest and let it penetrate your soul to loosen whatever binds you and holds you captive to your closed reality. By allowing your body to be the container that makes this practice possible, you will experience joy. Listen to the oracle and trust in the divine plan. be it as you expect or not. If you don't allow your body to accept and utilize what you've received, your soul will be in pain. It will not enjoy being imprisoned in a container that is not doing what it was made to do. Mantra. I'm grateful for what I have, comfortable living in the now, and dream about the future. I hope that this was able to bring some clarity, confirmation, and confirmation. I already just said that, clarity and confirmation for you. And until next time, I love